In today's show, we'll be discussing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as the Bitcoin price dip hits 17.5%. We'll also be discussing, is the Bitcoin halving already priced in as analysts compare the Bitcoin price targets versus the previous halvings. We'll also be discussing breaking news. BlackRock begins asset tokenization with the launch of digital liquidity fund. That's right. They're looking to tokenize everything. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, as predicted, ETF buyers are the quintessential dumb money who will buy and sell the Bitcoin ETFs and realize no gains and mostly losses, but will generate lots of commissions for the brokers. They can't surf Bitcoin's volatility and they'll drown. We'll also be discussing Binance CEO reveals the end of the year Bitcoin price prediction. I'll be breaking down his latest report, as well as Bitcoin gearing up for explosive rallies as FOMO greater than fear, according to on-chain analysts Willy Woo. We'll also be discussing a Bitcoin price target of actually $3 trillion in market cap this cycle and what the price action will likely be when that happens. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. But anyways, fam, without further ado, if you're new to the channel, important to subscribe to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, 7 days a week, just like this. Also important to hit that sexy thumbs up like button. It helps support the channel as well and helps with the YouTube algorithm. Today is pod episode number 1585. I'm your host, JV, and today is March 20th. 2024. Big day today as the FOMC info is out. So let's break it down with our market watch as we do every day. And if you're just joining the stream, pump those likes, family. Appreciate that. So as you can see, the entire market is pulling back. Bitcoin down 3% on the day, maintaining above 63,000. Some would say 60 is the new 20. Do you think we're likely to drop below that 60,000 support, family? Let me know. We also have Ether down 3%, ironic enough. And Solana, Cardano, AVAX, and XRP are the big losers for the day within the top. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com, the current crypto market cap, sits at $2.42 trillion with 155 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance, same as yesterday at 52% even, and the Ether dominance, same as yesterday at 16.7%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got KuCoin token up 9%, Toncoin up 5%, and Stacks up a modest 4%. Not much else in the gainers, as I would say, safe to say 90% of the alts are correcting today and in the red, along with Bitcoin. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get more of a visual perspective, yeah, I'd say over 90% of the top alts now correcting and in the red, but zooming out on the monthly to get a broader perspective, holy moly, you still got many of these meme coins up over 400%. On the month, many up over 100%, even ZRX up over 200%. So yeah, it's been an alt season, but when we correct, we typically correct hard. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index shows we're currently rated a 74 in greed, no longer an extreme greed after this big dip. I think it was roughly a 17.5% correction, nothing to be alarmed about. Previous halvings, we've corrected 20 as far as 40% pre-halving. Yeah, so last week we were 81 and last month a 75 in greed. And checking out the Bitcoin halving countdown, this is getting pretty exciting now. Only 26 days to go until the biggest event that occurs only every 4 years in crypto. And the current estimated halving date is April 16th. Can you say Bitcoin halving, number go up, parabolic rally? Send it. We'll also check out the time chain calendar. Shows you we're currently at, as soon as this updates here, block number 835,555. And at today's exchange, you got one Satoshi or $1 valued at 1,582 Satoshis. There will be a day, I'm going to predict it now, that one Satoshi is $1. And on that day, Bitcoin will be valued at roughly $100 million per coin. As we know, one Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million sats. So let's get it while the getting is good, shall we? Today's episode is brought to you by the crypto exchange Margex, your reliable way to trade Bitcoin with up to 100x leverage. Just note, trade with leverage responsibly, family. Now you have an option. If you're a bear, you could short Bitcoin, right? And if you're a bull, you can long Bitcoin. So you can do both here with the Margex crypto exchange. Margex offers a broad range of powerful tools to harness your trading skills, as well as boost your profits. There's privacy, secure trading, and transparency in every aspect, and very competitive fees. Your trading profits can be increased significantly by using leverage. Now, there's a special promo going on right now where if you join Margex using my referral link in the description, you're going to get a $50 bonus once you sign up, plus an additional $50 bonus after you deposit $100 or more into your account, plus an additional 20% after you deposit using my promo code newsalert20. You also find that promo code below the link in the description, right down below. So go ahead and take advantage of the Margex exchange, and let's get this crypto, shall we? That's what's up. Now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts and do a little bit of astrology for men, shall we? Bitcoin threatened a fresh breakdown through 61,000 March 20th as analysis warned that support could crack. Let me know if you feel 60,000 will hold strong, or do you think we'll break through? Let me know. So now down 17.5% versus the all-time highs. Bitcoin continued to feel selling pressure thanks to several key headwinds. These include outflows from the US spot ETFs and the March 20th decision on interest rates by the Fed. While the outcome of the FOMC meeting is all but guaranteed, we're going to get that update in roughly one more hour from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, quoting the Kabisi letter. With the Fed meeting less than 24 hours away, now less than an hour, it is unlikely the Fed changes rates tomorrow. However, all eyes will be on the guidance after the recent events. We maintain the view that it is far too soon to pivot. Let me know if you agree with that. The latest estimates for the CME Group FedWatch tool put the chances of a pivot at just 1%. So they're pretty confident in what they're sharing here. Now, the spot ETFs, meanwhile, saw a second consecutive day of net outflows as per the UK-based investment firm Farside, while the exodus from GBTC was lower than the record $642 million from March 19th. Low inflows to the other ETF products made for lackluster statistics. Quoting them here, almost 500 million USD has flowed out of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in the past 2 trading days. According to TED Talks Crypto, they also point out traders taking a wait to see a stance pre-FOMC plus tax season in the U.S. being potential reasons for the slowdown. Regular programming will resume, but expect some chop first. And quoting the Asian Morning Color Daily Bulletin on Telegram, Grayscale saw slightly smaller outflows of 443 million overnight. Good Lord. But will inflow from the other ETFs to bring us to a net positive number today. Another net negative number will likely cause support to crack. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Do you think 60,000 will likely hold or not? Holla at your boy, family. I'd love to know your thoughts and feedback on this. Anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day. We broke down the latest technical analysis. Now, considering the halving is roughly 25 days away, according to the Bitcoin halving countdown, let's discuss the halving and if it's built in and how we compare to previous halvings as well. Now, I know the obvious. You guys already know we're going to go from 6.25 Bitcoin being awarded right now to 3.125. So here's the impact that we've seen on the previous halvings via the price action. And quick shout out to GOAT. It just says, I sold at 62.5, hoping to buy back lower. Should I cut my losses and buy back in? That's a question for the fam. You guys, please address that. Answer from the GOAT. I appreciate the super, by the way. And like I said, whatever you buy, you still have that same amount of Bitcoin. And one Bitcoin 15 years ago was worth one Bitcoin, still what it is today. And in 15 years, one Bitcoin will still be equivalent to one Bitcoin. So sometimes we get sidetracked with the US dollar price action. So what do you guys say to that? Holla. Now, historically, Bitcoin price bull runs have been linked to the halving events. Expectations of decreased supply and rising demand have previously resulted in exponential price growth and positive market sentiment. There have been 3 Bitcoin halvings in the past, and one consistent thing the market has witnessed from the previous event is that 1 month before each halving, the price was lower than it was at the time of the halving. As you can see here in this chart, the table shows that the price of Bitcoin was around $12 at the time of the first halving, November 28th, 2012. 1 year later, November 2013, Bitcoin risen to a peak high of $1,242, more than 10,000% higher than the price at the halving. The second halving occurred July 9, 2016. The Bitcoin price rose to previous all-time highs of almost 20,000 by December 2017. And at the time of the third halving, May 11, 2020, Bitcoin's price was only 8,700 and then rose to a new all-time high of 69,000 the year following, November 2021. Now, the Bitcoin price tends to rise with the reduced supply entering the open market as long as demand remains constant or increases. This is because the reduction in the supply issuance rate emphasizes Bitcoin scarcity, which can drive up demand and consequently increase in price. Now, analysts' Bitcoin price halving expectations. Let's break it down, starting with Rec Capital, who analyzed the 5 phases of the Bitcoin halving, drawing on historical price action to explain what he expects to happen in the days before and after the upcoming Bitcoin halving event. The phases include the pre-halving period, the pre-halving rally, pre-halving retrace, the reaccumulation, and the parabolic uptrend as the final phase, where Bitcoin price grows exponentially, reaching new all-time highs, as you can see outlined here in this chart. Now, it is worth noting that historical price action may not be repeated in the future, but the anticipation of the bull market may push investors to increase their capital flows into the asset. Now, let's discuss the post-halving price predictions, because this is where things get exciting. Bitcoin price could be on track for the coveted 6-figure mark, particularly after surpassing its 2021 all-time high before the halving for the first time ever, FYI. So while some are setting even higher price targets, other analysts believe the halving has already been priced in. Analysts at Bitfinex crypto exchange expect that the incredible demand fueled by the US spot Bitcoin ETFs will help propel Bitcoin to its current peak above It's now actually 73,800, no longer 69 family. But anyways, quoting their market research, our analysis forecasts a conservative price objective of 100,000 to 120,000 to be achieved by the fourth quarter of this year, 2024, and the cycle peak to be achieved sometime in 2025 in terms of total crypto market capitalization. So to answer the question someone asked me earlier, yes, we can hit 100,000 easily this year, and according to this analysis, in the fourth quarter. Now, while Bitcoin price typically breaks its previous highs several months after the 4-year cycle having events, the price action appears to be playing out differently this year. Bitcoin breached its previous all-time high March 5th to set a series of new record highs and a new peak of 73,800. March 15th, just 5 days ago. Don't forget it. Now, Peter Brandt shared his insights on when Bitcoin might scale to new historic levels based on this performance. In a March 6th post, he projected the price of the big crypto might reach 150,000 by the fourth quarter of 2025. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Quoting Brandt, if the pace of the bull trend after April 2024 is at a similar pace to the bull trend since the November 2022 low, then the high in October 2025 could be around 150,000. However, the post-halving advances during previous bull cycles have been much steeper than the pre-halving advances. Now let's discuss bull market has started. If history is any guide, we will see 10 months of face-melting FOMO and extreme price pumps combined with multiple 30% drops according to the stock to flow. And on this chart, you can see that red dot that signifies the very first dot representing the bull market has officially begun. And I believe that was on March 1st, first day of this month. And do you see a pattern here? Red, bull run. We go all the way back to 2010, 2011 on the chart. We were in a bull run, and then we had yellow distribution, ultimately a pullback. And then the bear market, which is in the green, sideways trading action. Then we start with the blue, accumulation accumulation followed by red bull market. And like deja vu, every 4-year cycle, we see the same pattern emerge. So as you can see, 2021, from 2020 to 2021, notice all those red dots. That took us to 69,000, right? Then we had the yellow, then we had the green, then we had the blue, and we just got the first red dot to signify we're back in the bull. Now, yesterday we focused on the stock to flow, and I shared some very bullish price predictions. And quoting another analyst here, the CEO of decentralized Bitcoin mining pool, Local Mining, they shared, this year we'll see an amplification of scarcity narratives attributed to the intro of Bitcoin ETFs and the success of meta protocols such as ordinals. And speaking of ordinals, the Ghostface Killer from the Wu-Tang Clan is launching his project on the Bitcoin blockchain using ordinals. So look out for some new music from the Ghostface Killer. No one could be iller. Now let's discuss breaking news from BlackRock. The headline reads, BlackRock begins asset tokenization with the launch of their digital liquidity fund. This is a pretty big deal. BlackRock, we know is the world's largest asset manager with roughly 10 trillion in assets under management, filed a US SEC Form D for the BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund. This marks the launch of BlackRock's first tokenized asset fund. According to the filing, BlackRock created the fund in 2023, but has yet to launch it. Form D is used to obtain various exemptions. BlackRock indicated it is seeking an exemption under the Investment Company Act Section 3C, which exempts it from certain SEC regulations. You hear that, Gary? The fund was created under the jurisdiction of the British Virgin Islands. The fund will have $100,000 minimum investment and be offered by securitized U.S. digital asset security firm, which will also conduct the sale of the tokens. The form shows $525,000 in sales commissions, indicating the size of the fund as indefinite. The form was signed on March 14th. Last week, the fund will be tokenized on the Ether blockchain, making it more interesting, with an ERC20 token called BUIDL, which currently has one holder and a $0 on-chain market cap. According to Etherscan, that website also indicated that the fund received a transfer of $100 million on March 4th. Now, BlackRock's Spot Bitcoin ETF fund was amongst the first to receive the SEC approval in January. Its CEO, Larry Fink, who has been generally bullish about Bitcoin with reservations, told Bloomberg just after the ETF approval, quoting Mr. Lawrence Fink here, "We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will be on one general ledger. Whoa. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activity about bonds and stocks in digital by having a tokenization." He went on to praise customization strategies through tokenization and instantaneous settlement. Well, with Bitcoin, the transaction is the settlement. Interesting, they went with the Ethereum blockchain on that. What are your thoughts, family? You know BlackRock is also bullish on Ethereum. Hoping we get an Ethereum ETF approval this year. And I'm speaking on behalf of Larry Fink because he has verbalized that, but there's no telling if Gary Gensler will allow that. But some say he will because typically BlackRock gets what they want. What are your thoughts on that, family? Now, Securitize is registered as a stock transfer agent and alternative trading system with the SEC. It has tokenized asset for asset manager KKR and Spanish real estate investment trust Mancipi, as well as formed a partnership with SBI Digital Markets in Singapore and bought crypto fund manager OnRamp Invest, which had over 40 billion in assets under management. Now for a little bonus. Breaking news the other day, you know, the ETF strongest outflows we have seen on record. I mean, the charts don't lie, just unprecedented levels, hence why the market's crashing. So Max retweeted and wrote, "As predicted, the ETF buyers are the quintessential dumb money who will buy and sell the Bitcoin ETFs and realize no gains, but will generate lots of commissions for the brokers. They can't surf Bitcoin's volatility, and they'll drown." Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. Seems right on the money with me. We got to realize there is a difference between Bitcoin ETF BTC and self-custodied BTC. And the obvious, one could be confiscated, the other cannot. You know what I mean? Anyways, fam, next story of the day. Keep the comments flowing. Let's discuss an $80,000 target as per the Binance CEO. Here we go. Richard Teng is predicting that Bitcoin can reach a new all-time high by the end of the year, according to Bloomberg. The report says Teng sees Bitcoin exceeding 80,000 after earlier estimating Bitcoin would close 2024 at around that price. According to the report, his bullish prediction for Bitcoin is premised on the fact supply is falling while demand is continuing to come through. Damn right. Now, per the report, Teng is forecasting a Bitcoin rally will not occur in a straight line and that corrections will be beneficial for the market. Teng stepped into the Binance executive role after CZ stepped down and paid that $3 billion fine to the Department of Justice. Now, days after taking over from CZ, he disclosed he intended to position the giant crypto exchange for more growth while ensuring regulatory compliance. And at the time, he said the crypto exchange's business fundamentals were very strong. Binance continues to operate the world's largest crypto exchange by volume. Our capital structure is debt-free. Expenses are modest, he says. And despite the low fees we charge for our users, we have robust revenues and profits. Definitely that is true. Robust benefits and profits. They are the most profitable crypto exchange in the world, hence why they're the number one exchange. Coinbase being the number one exchange here in the United States. Let me know if you guys are still using Binance or not, or which crypto exchange you're currently using at this time. Holla. Anyways, fam, next story of the day. Here's the latest from Willy Woo, and then we'll be discussing actually a $3 trillion prediction in the market cap for this cycle, according to Bernstein analysts. But first, let's discuss the latest from on-chain analyst Willy Woo. The widely followed on-chain analyst thinks Bitcoin has just taken a breather before rallying to fresh all-time highs. Willy Woo tells his 1 million followers on X that the Bitcoin risk signal, which compares Bitcoin's network flows to price action, suggests Bitcoin is not yet done rallying. And a quick shout out to Barak Monfils Evangelista. Greatly appreciate the super. Respect, family. Now, according to Woo, Bitcoin is currently consolidating close to record prices in preparation for the next burst to the upside. Quoting him here, this is a Bitcoin long time frame risk signal I've been working on. Scale is when risk is low. Scale out when risk is high. It is saying, enjoy the dip while this consolidation lasts. This is not the top. It is simply an all-time high. Consolidation. Facts. We just hit 73,800 for Christ's sake, eclipsing the 2021 all-time high. So, of course, we got to correct after having a $20,000 USD candle on the February monthly chart. So, hence why we've had some corrections here in March. Now, zooming out, Woo says Bitcoin often witnesses parabolic rallies during bull markets because market participants are fueled by the fear of missing out. We call that FOMO like a mofo around here, along with the tendency of investors to hold on to their Bitcoin stacks. The native language of markets is the chart, and it is clear what the chart is saying. Do you see it? TradeFi, fear is greater than greed. Bitcoin, FOMO is greater than fear. In TradeFi, bear markets are steep. People freak out. In Bitcoin, bull markets are steep. People FOMO. In my opinion, Bitcoin FOMO in bull markets drives the marketing. Then education takes over and the sell-off is very much muted. Hodling becomes a behavior. And check out those charts. They don't lie, family. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the one and only on-chain analyst, Willy Woo. And where do you expect Bitcoin to likely take us by the time of this halving in roughly 1 month? Holla at your boy. Now for our featured story of the day. Let's discuss Bitcoin hitting a $3 trillion market cap this cycle, according to Bernstein analysts. In fact, the headline reads, Bitcoin price prediction 3 million by 2025. Now, I think this is a typo. It should say 3 trillion. Hence the typo on my thumbnail. It should also say 3 trillion, but nonetheless, I digress. So in exciting news, Reddit's upcoming initial public offering has stirred up a storm in the crypto world with hopes of new money breathing fresh life into the alt markets, while big names like Morgan Stanley, UBS, and Wells Fargo haven't fully embraced Bitcoin yet. Signs of growing institutional interest are evident in the overwhelming demand for the Bitcoin ETFs, which we're witnessing unprecedented inflows, family. Let's discuss some of the bullish signs first. Altcoin Daily recently dove into this trend, pointing out the surge in ETF investments led mainly by everyday investors, showing a widening acceptance of Bitcoin's usefulness. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's climb to new highs is gaining steam, with big players like Standard Chartered Bank predicting we could hit 150,000 per Bitcoin by the end of the year. I covered this specific Standard Chartered Bank prediction in the previous episodes. Be sure to check that out if you missed it. This specific outlook reflects the growing confidence in Bitcoin's value and its potential to shake up the finance and shake up the world. Also notable figures like Cathie Wood. Shout out to Cathie Wood, to all my broskies here, are even more bullish, believing Bitcoin can soar to $1 million in the next few years. In fact, she's now saying we're going to hit 1 million way before 2030 and now projecting 2.3 million per Bitcoin, which I also covered roughly 3 podcast episodes ago. So shout out to Cathie Wood. She sees Bitcoin as a game changer, not just in finance, but in how we think about money. And despite the success of the Bitcoin ETFs, Wood thinks there's still a lot of room for growth, especially for institutional investors. Now, Bitcoin's resilience in the face of challenges, always remarkable, akin to Uber's rapid rise in transport industry. This resilience suggests Bitcoin has crossed a significant threshold and is set for more growth. That's right. We call this the escape velocity, and Bitcoin has already reached it, and there's nothing the Fed, the government, or any corrupt politician can do to change it. Hallelujah to that. Despite attempts to slow it down, Bitcoin keeps gaining momentum, driven by increasing demand and limited supply. We know Bitcoin is the only form of money in history of money in humankind that has a finite limited supply of 21 million. So a report by Bernstein analysts suggests that Bitcoin can become a $3 trillion market by 2025, showing big businesses interested in cryptos and hinting at Bitcoin's role as a key investment and wealth preservation tool. Now, this is what's up. Right now, I think the Bitcoin market cap is probably 1.2 trillion. Let's get a confirmation here. It is currently $1.26 trillion. So virtually just shy of a 3x is what the analysts are projecting. Now, if the Bitcoin price 3x along with the market cap from today's price of where we at currently, let's just say it's $65,000. 65 times 2, what is that? Roughly $1.30-ish. And then we add another 65. That'd take us to close to $200,000 per coin for this cycle. So let me know if you agree or disagree with the projection. Now, as Bitcoin approaches the next halving, as I pointed out earlier, we're roughly only, we go to the Bitcoin halving countdown clock, only 26 days away, with the estimated date taking place April 16th of next month, which we all know is right around the corner. So what are your thoughts? Do you feel we'll likely easily hit this 3 trillion market cap this cycle by 2025? Let me know your thoughts in the comments in the live chat. I think that is extremely conservative. I say more realistically, somewhere between 5 and 10x. Of course, JV is bullish. Of course, I have one of the most bullish YouTube channels. Even during the entire bear market, I was bullish virtually every single day. But nonetheless, I genuinely believe it. That's why I share it and project it. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball that I can look into or a magic 8 ball, but nonetheless, basic supply demand. Here's some of the reasons of why JV is so bullish, and I think 3 trillion market cap is extremely bearish, and why I'm anticipating over a 5 trillion Bitcoin market cap for this cycle. Number one, institutional FOMO did not exist previous market cycle was driven by retail. This time we have the institutions. BlackRock alone already now has over 200,000 Bitcoin, neck and neck competing with MicroStrategy, which now has over 200,000 Bitcoin. So they each own roughly 1% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. So combined, that's over 400,000 Bitcoin and 2% of the Bitcoin supply. 2 companies, BlackRock and MicroStrategy. Factor in the Fidelity's $4.5 trillion asset management firm and all the rest of them, even Vanguard, who has an anti-Bitcoin stance, and they just announced their CEO is stepping down this year. They claim to be anti-Bitcoin. It's against our ethos, yada, yada, yada. It's too risky. But nonetheless, did you know who is the primary shareholder of MicroStrategy? That's right. That same company. Vanguard, the second largest asset manager in the world. BlackRock, I believe, is the second largest shareholder of MicroStrategy. So they're all invested into Bitcoin. Even if they're fudding Bitcoin, they're indirectly exposed to it. So that should tell you something. Now, currently, there's 900 Bitcoin being awarded daily to the miners. That's about to get cut in half in 25-ish days. So we're only going to have 450 new Bitcoin being mined daily. Now, once you calculate BlackRock alone accumulating over 10,000 Bitcoin per day, supply shock. That's why Crypto Quant put out in their report, which I covered earlier in the week, that they're expecting and anticipating a legitimate supply shock in 6 months, meaning all the Bitcoin on the exchanges are going to dry up because there's just too much demand. And 80% of the Bitcoin supply is currently in the hands of the long-term hodlers. So people such as yourself that believe in Bitcoin and don't want to sell it, aren't going to sell. So what's going to happen? They're going to have to fulfill this demand for their clients that want the Bitcoin. This doesn't factor into the ETFs that are yet to launch out of Hong Kong. The Asian markets are massive, massive money coming out of Hong Kong, right? We also have the El Salvador Bitcoin ETF, which will be different from all the existing ETFs. The difference being it'll be Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out, making it like a true Bitcoin ETF. Whereas currently you invest in an ETF, you're putting USD in, and that USD equivalent can rise in price along with Bitcoin or go down in value. But when you cash out, you don't ever touch or receive any Bitcoin. Again, you get the USD equivalent. And some would say, like Max Kaiser, that the Bitcoin ETF could be a big scam, meaning many of you guys are going to get wrecked, right? And the institutions are going to be the big winners collecting all the fees. Now, what if the US government created, hypothetically, an executive order and said, we're going to seize all the Bitcoin, ETF, BTC in the name of national security. It's a direct threat and undermines the value of the US dollar. Lo and behold, Biden signs a paper and then they confiscate all the Bitcoin, which Coinbase currently has in custody. Coinbase currently has over 1 million Bitcoin in custody because BlackRock is a custodian, they're the custodian of BlackRock, GBTC, which currently holds over 300,000 Bitcoin, etc. So you got to keep this in mind, family. A lot of potential headwinds which can occur, but one thing is for sure, Bitcoin ETF BTC is not the same as self-custodied Bitcoin. You want the real thing. You want to hold the asset, not your keys, not your cheese, meaning not your keys, not your coins. And now even the banks want to custody the Bitcoin, right? Versus using Coinbase or etc. as a custodian. Now, other factors that are bullish besides the obvious stock to flow, right? Supply, demand, massive demand, very limited supply. We also have nation state adoption. Nayib Bukele continues to buy Bitcoin, putting it in their safe, in their cold storage wallet. In El Salvador, there's another nation who has been secretly purchasing Bitcoin behind the scenes, according to Edward Snowden and many other whistleblowers. Which nation will this be? We don't know. A lot of speculation out there. Also, we could have the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the nation of Qatar purchasing Bitcoin right now. Recently, Bukele released a video of some of the princes from the Middle East shaking hands with Bukele congratulating them. Could this be happening all behind the scenes? According to Max Kaiser, yes. I mean, he is the high priest. There's a lot of other bullish catalysts as well. Which catalysts do you feel are the most bullish for this particular cycle? So, I mean, who knows? You also have Mike Saylor. He's not slowing down. His goal is to purchase 1 million of the Bitcoin supply for MicroStrategy, controlling 5% of the circulating Bitcoin supply. Like I said, they already control 1%. And if they continue at that rate, good Lord, they're going to have 1 million Bitcoin by themselves. So game theory is playing out in real time as we have predicted. And their other adoption. What about sovereign wealth funds? They say the Qatar is sitting on a $500 billion sovereign wealth fund, could be secretly purchasing Bitcoin behind the scenes right now as well. So there's just so much bullishness with so little Bitcoin, and tapping into the total addressable market. We're discussing 700 trillion. Where do you think they're going to park this capital? Well, what's giving us the best returns right now? Is it gold? Is it junk bonds? Or is it Bitcoin? Bitcoin is up 150% or so in the past year. Not too shabby. The past month, Bitcoin is up, you know what I mean? Just in the month of February, we soared 45%. So these are mind-boggling numbers. And like I said, I don't think these asset managers are going to be slowing down. I'm envisioning more like a snowball effect. They're going to be speeding up. Jennifer says, if you're buying through a broker, it is most likely an ETF. It is not the real Bitcoin. Good to note. Appreciate those insights. You got to know what you're getting into. Qatar in the house. My friend was there and said it's super clean and full of wealth, says Toasty Toast. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to go? And look, just like that, we're back in the green. All JV had to do was stream for 1 hour. We're back in the green.